Now, it's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, must-see TV, and it might still be, but the streak can't go on forever, can it? Didn't last night. It ended for Steph Curry, 18 points. Only 8. What the hell's he doing? Only 8. Okay, easy. 18 points for Super Steph. And his team got beat by Washington last night. Now, big loss for the Golden State Warriors. 118, 114. Steph had 2 3-pointers on 14 attempts, shot just 7 to 25 from the field. And so, JJ, the streak is over. The longest streak of 30-plus point games for anybody over 30. He surpassed the great Kobe Bryant in that. I imagine another one will start soon. But at some point you figure, man's going to have an off night, right? 33 years old. I don't care who you are. At some point, you're not going to score 30 points. And he scored 18. And a loss for a club that's fighting for every win they can get against a team that they probably should have beat. But it ends last night. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Good morning, man. How you living?
Living good. And yeah, that'll happen. Even to the great Steph Curry, the shooting that he had, I like how they had to classify it for a player 33 years old. I think what we're seeing out of Steph this year, and it's been mentioned a few times about this streak, is the struggles he's had with injuries. I think kind of helped him be in a better place this year. He doesn't have a lot of basketball on his legs. He wasn't a guy that was playing deep into the bubble run last year, deep into the postseason, and we're seeing it because right now without Klay Thompson, that team is struggling. Kelly Oubre had his moments way early in the season. Yeah. Andrew Wiggins was bad last night, and Steph Curry couldn't do it all.
Yeah, and at some point, somebody else is going to have to help him out. He's in the MVP conversation. I don't think he wins MVP, but he's in that conversation. But to your point, at some point, somebody's got to step up and say, all right, I got you. Bazemore had 19. Wiggins had 14, but on 5 for 20 shooting last night. Draymond Green, 8 points, 3 for 6. Doesn't Draymond have to shoot more than 6 times? Oubre came off the bench for 24.
No, that's not.
You don't think so? Well, but he's got to help, doesn't he? So he's not involved in the offense?
He's not that good of a shooter.
No, I know that. For at least from range, I think he's got at this point in his career, what's he doing? Is he creating? Is he just rebounding? And certainly he's defending. If you ask him, he's the best defender in the history of that league, ever. All right, we got a lot to do for you. Happy what day is today? Is it Thursday? Weird week this week continues to be. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. You've got the uniformed ProView guys. It looks like. Look at Josh is back. Look at Josh sitting in the seat. Is that Alden that brought breakfast?
That is. Looks like a two-man crew.
Well, I mean, is it Back to the Future all of a sudden? Back to the two-man crew. Aaron can do it all by himself. You go to the veterans, and it's Josh and Alden who have to tag team this thing. How many veteran uniformed ProView guys does it take?
Not harder.
It's good. It's good. So you can watch the show on the Facebook, the OD and the AM there, or go to their Facebook page, ProView Networks. Those guys are busting their butts. Look at it, Twisters, which is they went to Twisters this morning, which is tomorrow's sweet deal, JJ. Go to our website tomorrow, 9 a.m. And gentlemen, just to make your dollar go further for your breakfast, you can get $50 worth of Twisters gift certificates for just $25 tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Go to sportsaudiblebq.com. Take advantage of our sweet deal. Click on the icon there. We'll talk to Gabrielle tomorrow morning at a little bit before 9 o'clock to get that. All right, we'll get you the NBA stuff. We'll go through baseball as well and everything that happened. And it was snowing watching that Rocky game last night.
It was.
Maybe they're better in the snow, dude. Maybe they should just play in the snow.
I think so. When you have a 4-run lead, it starts snowing sideways. Yeah. It's not a bad situation for your closer to come into.
Everybody just wants to go home. At that
All right,
point, just
we
get me to the
done.
hotel.
We done.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
swing at everything.
Please, just please. And a ball that's 4 inches outside the strike zone is probably going to be a strike because everybody wants to go home. I mean, we're going to get into what the Astros are right now, and who the three worst teams in baseball are. They're going to kind of, if you haven't looked at the standings, and granted it's April 22 or whatever it is, but it'll get you. More championships and handed out, more UNM women championship, and New Mexico State for that matter. But Jill Trujillo's golf team went out and came from 16 strokes back and won the Mountain West Conference Golf Championship yesterday, their 9th Mountain West Conference championship. And I tell you about the programs over there all the time, but this one was different. It was the 5th time that Jill Trujillo has won, but the first time as head coach since 2014. Lauren Lehigh, a sophomore, was tied for first. She lost in a playoff for the individual championship. But the Lobos were down 15 strokes and came back and won on the final day at the conference championships. The Aggies were winners again. It's their 10th WAC championship for the women's golf team. Women in this state can play some golf, man, or at least they can recruit women, or however it is. But that's congratulations. That's 4 championships in this shortened season for Lobo women. That's basketball, that is soccer, that is cross country, and that is golf in no particular order. It's a pretty good run that they're having down there on South Campus.
That is a fantastic run, and that is a lot of space to find where these trophies going to fit to show off, because those
a hell of a
conference
problem.
trophies are nice, and it's a great problem to have now. And to bring in 4 more of those Mountain West Conference trophies, a championship trophies home to UNM. Awesome to see, and absolutely what the women are doing at the University of New Mexico. And you said congratulations to New Mexico State, who's had a fantastic run as well. It is great to see, and it's a reminder of how many good student athletes we do have in this state representing New Mexico State or New Mexico.
Yeah, it's these are some of the best programs, and look, New Mexico State's program has been good for obviously a long time and dominated the WAC since the Aggies have been in the WAC. That's 10 championships for New Mexico State, and so both of these programs now will go to the NCAA regionals and see what they can do, but. You start looking at it, and they were the top seed going in, and so they had a rough day. It just shows golf is witchcraft anyway, right? I mean, we talk about this all the time. You can have a bad day, and you know, how does Jordan Spieth win one week and not make the cut the next week? That's what's so incredible about golf. But New Mexico State was down 2 strokes. They played theirs in Nevada, so they've won 6 of the last 7 WAC championships, 10 in the league. And then Lauren Lehigh was terrific for New Mexico, the University of New Mexico. So congratulations to both of those programs. I don't know what the number is. I'm sure it would not be hard to find because all the contracts are public. A lot of coaches getting bonuses for winning league championships and getting to the postseason, and good for them down there, right? Good for them.
Yes, that is why you put those in the contract, and you're cashing them in right now.
Yeah. All right. Let me give you a number to get in today, 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at 610knml.com. JJ at 610knml.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the Facebook, the OD and the AM. Josh and Alden eating their twisters and putting us on the air. You can watch us there or on ProViewNetworks.com, and Bobcat. Take your calls. On the radio side, we got football to get into. Maybe somebody's going to be able to get an onside kick. We got Trevor Rogers, the Carlsbad kid, had a terrific outing in the big leagues yesterday. Local baseball is found a way to play games this weekend, so we'll get there. I do want to get into the PGA Player Impact Program that was announced this week. The NFL draft is now 1 week away. That is 1 week from today, so we can go there as well. And a lot of action in the NBA. Richard Pitino spoke after talked to us yesterday, talked to the media at large yesterday. So there's a ton there that we're going to get into today. And if you want to continue on yesterday's topic, which was, it generated a lot of passion. And I can't tell you how many people talked to me and called me afterwards. And, certainly in the circle of people with whom I speak, there is an overriding sentiment to at least try a centralized high school football game in this state. I've been calling for it for years, and I've kind of softened to let's try it. Nothing's got to be permanent. I know it got kind of weird at the end. When you're defending a point, when you're having a conversation and you have a point of view, you defend it. What was I accused of? Having an agenda. Well, I certainly had a belief and a side in this conversation. But JJ, I think there's so many pros. There are some cons to it. Now, I'm not telling you that there's not. I'm not telling you this is as easy as, just flipping the switch on it. And there were three issues: basketball, weather, and scheduling. And I didn't poo-poo them. I like I said, you can always find a reason why things can't happen. Can you get around that? Is the greater good outweigh the cons? And in my opinion, in your opinion, and in the majority of our callers and listeners' opinion, yes.
It's one that it's fascinating too, because the people that are hosting those games are pretty steadfast in it. And so you really have to hear from them, because a lot of stuff we heard yesterday on the other side really didn't convince me it was better for the high school player. It was better for the fan in attendance. It was better about the weather. It was better for the wrestling coach or the basketball coach, not necessarily anything about the football player.
Yeah, never is. It was better for the guy who owns the Dairy Freeze in Eunice. Josh, you've been to the Dairy Freeze in Eunice? He's like, oh yeah, where else are you going to go in Eunice? We've been down there the last 3 years. I got to eat. Where else are we going to go? So we can continue that conversation if you would like. 505-246-0610. I'm going to give you another phone number that I want you to write down and think about protecting what's important to you. That's your home, your business, it's security, and the numbers for International Protective Service. I'm going to give it to you here in a moment. IPS has protected my home for years. I see them on a daily basis outside the house. And now that we're kind of moving around, if you're going away, taking a trip, whether it's a couple of days or, you're going to go away on a nice week and a half trip, IPS will watch your home while you're gone. They'll move the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day, pick up the newspapers if you have a newspaper, mail. If you have a delivery, they'll pick that up so it's not sitting on the porch to be pirated. IPS protects what's important. People make the mistake that they wait too long. You wait till something bad happens. Don't do that. I didn't do that, and I suggest that you protect what's important before something bad happens. IPS is local. Aaron is committed to Albuquerque. He's from here. He's not going anywhere. And I know some of you have signed up for security with a company that's been bought and sold twice, and now your security's out of state. It's not what you signed up for. IPS is local. They will stay local. They have highly trained armed guards, and they watch what's important when you can't be there. If your alarm goes off, they respond within 5 to 7 minutes with those trained armed security officers. Trust your protection to a local company who's passionate about making our city a safer place to live and work. It's IPS. The phone number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. You can visit them online at ipsglobal.com. Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Way past to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Mir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
The rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
Oh, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Okay.
All right, 8 o'clock this morning, we're going to talk, revisit yesterday's issue. Ed Manzanatos is the Senior Associate Athletic Director at UNM. He's got facilities and events and to address that aspect of the conversation yesterday, but he's also been around here for, he's from here. He grew up here. He grew up in northern New Mexico, and talk about some of the hurdles that came up yesterday, some of the issues, the scheduling issues, and we'll just have that. Just hitting on yesterday, JJ. This came in from Hondo, and he said, actually, it wasn't from Hondo, it was from Bourne. He said, replying to JJ, Bourne is soft. He said, Jeff, yesterday JJ asked when OD listeners got soft over the weather. Remember, you asked, you're soft. You said you're soft. When do we get soft? He said, Bourne is guilty. I was going to participate in an outdoor event tomorrow, Friday. While 65 degrees is pleasant most places, when you add that expected 50-mile-an-hour New Mexico wind, that makes it more than a little chilly. So I postponed everything till Sunday. All right, softy. All right. Yeah, I think I will tell you this.
No one wants to be outside when it's windy. That is the one thing about spring. When we get the winds around here, no one likes that. No one's
I got to play in that wind
spring
tomorrow,
wind.
Man. Yeah.
I gotcha. But we're talking about fall sports, and all of a sudden it's too cold to play football.
Yeah. Well, yes. So I was thinking about what you said, actually. First of all, I got to play in the winds tomorrow. And they're going to be stupid in the afternoon, which, I mean, I guess it's going to help my handicap go up and get me more strokes.
Especially if the greens are sanded.
Oh, man.
Those are going to be great in a couple weeks, though.
Yeah, but that won't be my issue tomorrow. I think you're right. And I don't think people are going to argue with you. I think people are going to be like Bourne and just go, yeah, we are soft. I think there's, to me, I don't even think it's arguable. New Mexico sport fan, when it comes to that particular aspect, going out and watching games in the weather, yeah, we're soft. Have you watched? Now, I understand what the product has been the last bunch of years. But do you watch football games? When that Lobo football team that won 10 games in what was it, the 2016 New Mexico Bowl, the 10-win New Mexico team, Bob Davies' team that won the bowl game. Remember their last game of the year? I've told this story a bunch of times, but when they played Wyoming and ran up and down the field and scored 50-something points, and it was for potentially for a division championship, but the game started at 8:15 and it was cold and there was nobody there because it was cold. Yeah, we're soft. To your point, to Bourne's point, and I think you guys are in agreement on this. And not everybody. Rudy's not soft. Rudy's out there every time. Rudy's out there with his parents, and I get it. But yeah, when it comes to weather, now Pro you guys might have a different angle on this for football. I think for a high school football game on a Friday night, when your kid's playing, you're not as soft. You find yourself a beanie and a parka and some gloves and a couple of layers, and you go out and watch your kid play. You're still miserable. I'll go out and watch my kid run or play. I've been out in crazy wind and cold watching her play lacrosse. But when it comes to an Isotopes game or an outdoor Lobo game, I'll even tell you, the small sample on United, man. When United played in weather, the crowds went down. Yeah, I with all due respect, I think fans are soft here.
With all due respect, yes, weather is impactful, but because it might just be chilly for a game or two, is not a reason to dismiss an entire idea.
Right. No,
like we all make decisions on the weather. Like no one wants to be cold. Like no one likes the wind. We get that, but thankfully we usually don't have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the fall.
Yeah, no, I was expecting better weather tomorrow, though. What, shorts? Go with the JJ thing. I don't know if it's a long pants day. It might be shorts and
I was rocking the long sleeve pullover and the shorts last week. It did me well.
Yeah, no. Last Friday was kind of a cusp day for golf, right? I mean, it's like, do you do the long pants or the short? So were you the only one in the group with shorts on? Yeah.
Yes.
Roberto? No. So. All right. Well, tomorrow's going to be windy. All right. 505-246-0610. I know it's the worst thing you can call an athlete is soft, right? A quitter, soft, right? What about sports fans? I mean, I'm not looking to be disparaging.
You're right. I think of all these years of going back and forth and debating about events and what sports fans want to see, and I don't think it's wrong. Like, people don't want to be uncomfortable, but when we're talking about playing the game itself, and it might be a little chilly in the fall, it's not a reason to dismiss an entire event.
And I'll intercept the email that's coming, and I'll read it again when it gets here, but I'll get out in front of it. Well, Jeff, we're not soft. The product wasn't very good, and I give you that, because my example was Lobo football over the last bunch of years, and I understand. Are you going to go sit out there at 8:15 at night all the way till midnight when it's really cold in November and watch your team get beat by 30? No. I get that. But that team that I just told you about was pretty good. That was a 10-win team. Nine-win team, right? 9-win. They won 8 games in regular season. 9-win team. That was a pretty good team. That team led the country in rushing. That was an exciting football team. And it was cold. So you watch it on TV. Look, I get it, man. Would I rather, in general, as a statement, sit on an aluminum bench and freeze for 3 hours, or sit on my couch and under a blanket where the drinks are plentiful and the lines to the restroom aren't very long? Well, there's no lines to the restroom with you there. I get it. But I don't hear anybody arguing with you, JJ. Yeah, that one resonated, and that Bourne email came in, and I'm like, I was wondering if anybody else was going to take off on the word soft. You called people soft, JJ. So that's where you are. All right. Yes. Yeah. Other NBA stuff last night. And then I want to get into the NFL rules and everything when we come back. Actually, let's hit on Trevor Rogers first. Trevor Rogers is the pitcher, the big lefty from Carlsbad, New Mexico. He pitched 7 innings last night, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, no runs. Team won 3-0. He's 2-1. He has a 1.64 earned run average for the Miami Marlins, who don't look now, but by the way, they made the playoffs last year and are a sneaky good and gutsy and scrappy baseball team. Don Mattingly, his manager, said he's one of the guys who really benefited from coming up last year during the weird COVID season and getting some run in the big leagues. This is a young, big, strong-armed kid who's got a huge future in Major League Baseball.
He is leading lefties in strikeouts right now in the major leagues. He has legit swing and miss stuff. His size is fantastic. His motion is repeatable. Like, it's not one that there's any awkwardness to it. Big dude, going to be able to eat up a lot of innings for that team. And that's the one thing the Marlins have done, is they know how to scout pitching. And they have a good one in Rogers. And you saw it last year, as what Don Mattingly mentioned. You know, he flashed and now got that experience. He had a full offseason of work, and he's coming up big now for the Marlins.
Yeah, Don Mattingly is really, and that organization is really cautious with young pitchers, and they watch pitch count. And so he had I think he had a 6 pitch inning, a 7 pitch inning. So he threw 82 pitches to get through the 7. He is the first Marlin this season to get through 7 innings, to get to 7 innings. He's got both of the rotation's victories. He got beat up a little bit last year. Like, he had a 6.11 ERA, but like Don Mattingly said, I mean, look, the big leagues are the big leagues. You know, it's one thing to win at high school and in the minors, but to go up. So I'm gonna just kind of put that on your sports radar. When Trevor Rogers pitches for the Miami Marlins, take a look, because he's really, really good. And when there's snow in Denver, watch the game, because there's a good chance the Rockies win. How about that? Swept the Astros.
Stop the presses.
Oh, they're back. You ready now? You back on?
No, because I'm just even that much more disappointed in the Astros.
The Astros? Okay, so can I tell you the teams with the worst records in baseball? In the American League? The Astros, the Twins, and the Yankees. Weren't those like 3 of the picks to win their division? I got it, man. We're 17 games into the season, and it's 160-something game season. I get it. So easy. But the Astros, the Twins, and the Yankees are the 3 last-place teams in the American League.
As my boy Manny Machado said, you don't win a championship in April. I'll add, you can lose it, though.
The Rockies already lost one. Rockies are more games back than anybody else in baseball. 8 games behind the Dodgers, who are 14-4. And your Padres are already 5 games back, man. You better. I mean, they struggle with the Brewers now. Brewers really took care of
Corbin Burns is probably the second-best pitcher in the National League right now.
Okay.
Behind
swept
Jacob
at home? You got swept at home? I mean, the Brewers are nice.
Hey, they're gonna get that wild card spot. They're gonna get hot. Watch out.
Lost 5 of their last 6. Oh, they were up for the Dodgers. They were chirping a lot. They did a lot of talking. Then the Brewers came in and swept them. That's your San Diego Swinging Friars. 505-246-0610. How the National Football League is making it maybe more possible to recover an onside kick. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Wash your car every day for as low as $10 a month.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric.
For the National Football League last year, and look, this shouldn't be something that is converted at a 50% clip, first of all, but only 3 of 67 onside kicks were recovered by the kicking team. Now, I don't know what percentage makes you feel comfortable, but 3 of 67 makes it's pretty tough. So the NFL is addressing that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Obviously, when they went to the rule, was it last or 2 years ago, where there's no run up to the kick, where the kicking team cannot be running, that they have to be set at the line of scrimmage, essentially, where the ball is kicked. It eliminated the running start. That the point of that was to eliminate the high collisions. It was for player safety, and so putting 11 players on the receiving side up near the ball, and the percentages went down. So the NFL has changed the rule where now the receiving team can only put 9 players within 25 yards of the ball, figuring that it'll give a better chance to the kicking team to recover. I don't know what percentage you were shooting for, JJ. It's a risk play, right? It's a high risk play. It's a desperation play in most situations. I think 90% of the time you're doing an onside kick is out of desperation. The other 10% is surprise. So where are you trying to get? Like what's a comfortable percentage of success for an onside kick?
So 3 out of 67.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I think, maybe 15% is something a little bit. 'Cause the one thing, we all love football, but it is absolutely the worst in terms of late game excitement. Because if you are down and it's rough and you need that onside kick, right now there's like a 0.0003% chance you're recovering.
Oh, it's 1.1%, 1.16666%.
A minuscule. And so that is one thing you would like a little bit more of a chance to make one more play to give yourself a shot.
So I don't know if this is going to do it. The Eagles had proposed a rule, and this is going to be a one-year experiment, by the way. But the Eagles proposed that you have an option to gain 15 yards on one offensive play. You go from your own 25. And if you get 15 yards, then you retain possession. If not, the other team gets the ball wherever it is. 15 yards seems way too easy for me. I see way too many 15-yard plays in the National Football League. I would propose it should be at least 20. Like this should be, to your point, I think it should be about a 15% play, right? And I don't know what the percentages are on a 15-yard play, but I'm going to guess it's higher than that. When I ask the question, I'm asking somewhat rhetorically. In my mind, it feels like it should be successful in the area of 15%. Like this shouldn't be something that's automatic. It just shouldn't be. It should be something that's really hard to do, that the odds are against you. But it shouldn't be like Joel Embiid throwing a ball with 0.8 of a second, the length of a court kind of a percentage, and almost rimming that out, right? I mean, it should be better than 1%, but to me, less than 25%, somewhere in that 15% area. Do you like this rule that the NFL's putting in? Only 9 players within 25 yards of the ball in the receiving team.
And we'll see how it actually does affect the onside kick. I have no idea what it's necessarily going to look like. What maybe they've seen from it before, where they got that idea to adjust it for the onside kick. Now I'm with you. I think a fair number, around 15%, just give a team a chance, because that is the one game. If you run out of timeouts, you ain't got a chance. Like, it's just over. And there's nothing you can do at an in-game situation. When you say, yeah, obviously the team that's leading earned it, but you'd still like a little bit of a shot, because other games you can give yourself a shot. You can get a steal. You're going to come up in the bottom of the inning. In football, the team gets it, they take a knee, game over.
Yeah. All right. I'm fine with it. I don't know that it's going to drastically get them to where they want to be. And I don't know where it is they want to be, right? Obviously 1.16% or whatever it is, 1.116% isn't enough. And I'm down. I'm down. It shouldn't just be, the chances of a full court Hail Mary. But where you want to go. The other, there were a bunch of rules that they changed. You big on the number rule, JJ? There's a relaxation of the rules for numbers of players can wear because of the expanded squads now. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defensive backs, and linebackers could all wear numbers in the single digits if they choose, because previously they couldn't. You okay? I don't know.
I don't care. Like, a jersey number is a jersey number. I'm not going to see a linebacker wearing number 9 and be like, where did my football go? What happened in the game I love?
Is it going to be weird if you see an offensive lineman wearing number 2? Big old 320
pound. That would
definitely
be different, but we've seen defensive linemen wearing single digits in college, and it doesn't really bother me.
I think I'm with you. I think I just don't care where you wear what you want to wear. It was easier.
That's going to bother you, Jeff, because we hear you talking about this occasionally on a very nice promo that we have. The NFL is going to refocus on taunting and be throwing more flags on these players for not touchdown celebrations, but for all the other altercations on the field. Because how dare grown men playing the game of football chirp at each other?
I guess I didn't see that one. So tell me about that one.
It says there's a feeling among coaches on the subcommittee that they've gotten too lax on players going face-to-face or standing over people or pointing fingers, etc. on the football field. So the flags are coming.
Well, etc. is a bad way to word a rule, first of all. A really bad way. Pointing fingers. So we're talking about sack dances. We're talking about, like, a guy makes a basic play and just pumps his chest and look at me, I did my job kind of a thing. And the celebration of, right, a sack. And the Mark Gasson, I think it started with Mark Gasson with the sack dance, and now everybody's got their little celebration. Is that what we're talking about, sack dances and
yeah, the chirping. So we're asking these dudes
good luck
to care.
Yeah.
To not be too friendly, by the way, because if they're shaking hands or talking to each other after a game, nope, can't do that, because that would have never happened in the past. But yet when they want to show, hey, look at that, I just put you in the ground, and what? Oh, nope, that's too much. Flags coming out. Be a robot. Don't do anything on the football field other than get the play call, do your job, and get back to the huddle. I think a lot of people appreciate that, but to me, really, that's where we need to change the game.
So read it to me again, because I guess I'm really not clear and I can't find it. So I don't understand it, to be honest.
So it's taunting. They're putting a re-emphasis on taunting. And it's not so much at TD celebrations, but coaches feel players do too much going face-to-face, jawing at each other. standing over an opponent's never nice, but I don't
All
necessarily
right.
see that happen a ton. Pointing fingers. Ooh, watch out. He just pointed at me.
So, okay, so your choreographed touchdown celebrations are okay still, right?
Yes.
Which some skits have been really funny, by the way. I wonder how much time is that during practice or is that after practice that we get together and choreograph those. Sack dances sound like they're permitted. If you sack a guy, get up and run your 10 yards back and pound your chest
I
and
think
do your
it's-
little dance.
You social distance from
That's
the
good, yes.
opponent that you hit. You
Socially
can show
distant
some
sack
emotion.
dance. Okay, but if I drill you and stand over
You're a
you,
little too-
celebrate,
I don't
I have
think
to
anyone
get away.
necessarily likes that, but I don't know if I've necessarily seen that as a huge issue in the game. I don't know how you're going to regulate pointing fingers. Because what if you're saying,
So-
yeah, I was just pointing at
That's right.
my wife in the stands. Oh, my son was over there. What are we doing here?
Your man was in the way. Here's where I foresee the issues, right? 4th down and 1, big stop. You're celebrating. You're pumping a fist. You're pointing, going the other way. We just made a stop on 4th and 1, and now we're giving them the ball back at 15 yards. I don't know, man. Sometimes I look at some of the rules and say
It's doing
you
too
so
much.
overregulate. Well,
Right?
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that's to me is too much. They have made this game. We talk about in society how hard it is to be a police officer. It has become so hard to be a football official because there are so many rules. Is that a bad analogy? I'm just saying my analogy is there's just so much to think about. Okay, all right. If it's a bad analogy, I apologize, and it might be. We put so many more rules every year, so much more to look at, as opposed to. And I get it, the games evolve, but they're not watching football. They're not policing football anymore as much as they're policing behavior now, right? We're watching. Is that celebration okay? Did you see him point a finger? Did he point a finger? Is that with it? We're watching how many the types of blocking, where you're hitting the quarterback. They put so many new rules in every year. I just think it's so hard to officiate a game.
Yeah, and it's even harder to play said game when you have a committee that feels like, well, we're meeting, we got to do something, right? Like, we're a subcommittee meeting on rules. What are we changing this year?
All right. I just found it. Include taunting among points of emphasis. The emphasis would not be directed at celebrations, but acrimonious interaction among players. Edward, what is acrimonious? No. I was going to ask him to define acrimonious. Is that more Jeffrey? That's probably more Jeffrey. Define acrimonious. All right. You got new rules. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on your new rules in the National Football League.
Well, there's doing too much if you're an NFL subcommittee, and there's not doing enough when it comes to your health and fitness. And I was guilty of that last year. I took a red shirt season, dealing with everything that was going on while you're trying to stay healthy. We're doing it in a positive way for our fitness to better ourselves overall. F45 functional training has helped me get back to that mindset, knowing I'm going to have more energy, I'm going to feel good, I'm going to look forward to my workouts. And oh, by the way, doing it in a manageable time frame because life gets busy. It's hard to get those workouts in, but F45 functional training changes that by giving you a high-intensity workout in a 45-minute class. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can look at the week schedule of classes. You're going to need the app to book your class. Of course, still managing class size, but you're going to see what workout you're doing. It's a new workout every single day, so a circuit that's going to challenge your mind and body to keep you moving forward. Yeah, I'm calling games during the week. Got a 2-year-old running around the house. It gets busy. So the Saturday and Sunday classes come in clutch for me, and you're going to be able to find a class that will work for you. F45 Training has certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify if needed. The atmosphere, it's great. All the people in there working together, focused. And the big thing, you go to a gym, whether you're a traditional weightlifter, etc., sometimes it can feel overwhelming if you're trying to get back into it. Not with F45. All fitness levels, whether you're looking to kickstart your fitness or challenge yourself to get to another level, the atmosphere is good, it works, and the workouts will test you. whatever level you are at. Check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app. They're located at 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's really good access from wherever you are in this city. You can do it, and F45 is here for your full body functional workouts. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marielena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Taunting or celebration. Where's the fine line? I think the NFL's trying to figure that out for a long time. AC says, I think a great example was OBJ and Norman as far as taunting. Bob just said something during the break about how one of the things that kind of took the enjoyment of watching football, and Bob, I don't want to paraphrase, but one of the things that you enjoyed football less is when they started penalizing celebration, the enjoyment of the game for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's the touchdown celebration, seeing somebody who knows that they just did something great, to take that away from them. And it was a long time ago that they started doing that. It just, to me, that was just a point where things started to go slowly downhill in the enjoyment of watching the game.
All right, fair enough. I mean, everybody looks at the game and they want what they want out of it, and so I think that's fair. JJ, I think it's going to be. This is so tough to enforce, and it's going to be like every other new rule. How are they doing it, and what's the emphasis? Are they going to change it midway through the season, and are they going to come out of the gates enforcing everything and to show you, hey, we're here and this is a point of emphasis? Or
I think the great example is the play that got you going in the Super Bowl, and it was the peace sign from Winfield Jr. To Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs, and yet that's what Tyreek Hill does every time he runs into the end zone.
Yeah, I think what bothered people the most about that was the inconsistency on it, right? Tyreek Hill's able to do it all the time.
This rule makes that even more inconsistent.
Well, so why? I mean, they'll
because
both
the peace sign is like pointing the finger.
All right, but with this rule,
it
I agree with
be.
that.
That's the problem.
I agree with that.
And I don't know if they're going to start flagging Tyreek Hill because they weren't doing it. So all of a sudden they're going to do that again. Like that's.
Well,
where
I don't know how they don't now.
Man. It's all the stuff like you said. All the stuff we're already trying to deal with. NFL blocking, you're getting pushed into a quarterback. Well, you hit him too low. Okay, that's a penalty. Where contact happens on a field, and now they're like, "Oh, you pointed too long. Oh, I heard you say a bad word. Here's a flag."
Well, and what the amount of junk that is talked on a football field, right? And the officials aren't hearing what's going on with who was it? Winfield, the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill. The amount of crap that probably was talked throughout that whole game, and for a dude to put up a peace sign when he makes a big play and get penalized is garbage. In its own right, like in a vacuum, it's garbage. And then you put it into context, and the context being the dude on the receiving end, that's his little signature when he's running away from people. It's okay for him to do it. And I don't want to see them both penalized. And I don't think you do or Bob does or anybody else that's watching football wants to see them both penalized. That a dude, I mean, is it cocky? Is it arrogant? Yeah. And at some point, you get your comeuppance. What goes around comes around. You get what you give, right? So at some point, you get yours back. How is that hurting the game? Now, I get it, standing over a dude after you just knocked him out and just straddling him and talking bleep. Okay. I think you and I both agree that's probably a little too much.
Yeah. But I don't necessarily think I've seen that be a huge occurrence where it needed to definitely be addressed. It just feels like, hey, we're meeting, they call us a subcommittee, so we need to do something.
Well, I mean, they did it. They done did it now. We'll see. And I don't know if these are permanent or these are these temporaries, but yeah, they done did it. All right, 505-246-0610. Got emails Our next guest, we're going to talk about the high school football championship games. And Les says people have lives, Jeff. You aren't putting 5 to 6 games in that frigid facility in December. You aren't playing from 8 a.m. till midnight. If you spread them out over 2 days and you draw the Friday, 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. game, who's going to that? People have lives. I don't know, man. Who's going to those games in the
Who's
pit
going to the 8
on
a.m.
Wednesday?
state title game on a normal day?
Yeah. Right? I mean,
it's inside. I forgot.
But that's not the argument here. The argument is it's Friday at 11 or 2. Who's going? I mean, I don't know. A lot of people? Les? I've been.
You really think that's? But you're not going to those games anyway, because they're all at 1 o'clock in different areas. So, my thing is here. Okay. And you're maybe going.
I'm just
to
playing
one.
his argument. Yeah.
Okay,
maybe.
so do you think that's better for high school football? That's all. And if you're coming in saying, you know what, the way they're doing it is fine, then stop complaining if you think these kids aren't getting an opportunity or getting overlooked, because no one wants to put a re-emphasis in the high school football.
Les, I've been covering that high school tournament for 25 years. It seems like on Wednesday afternoon at 2 or Thursday morning at 8:30, there's a lot of people in the pit. Those people don't have lives, though? I mean, we all make decisions. You do what you want to do. You need to take a day off, you take a day off. 505-246-0610. Ed Manzanares, the Senior Associate Athletic Director, I believe is the right title. I'll get it right for you. From UNM is going to be with us, former Athletic Director at Highlands. He's going to be with us. We're going to talk about this next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Fingers the rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
For your business or your home,
yesterday, and it's not that it's new conversation, but I thought it was certainly heated and passionate, and I can't believe how much extended conversation I had later in the day. People calling me. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. We had the conversation yesterday about a centralized college football championship day or days like they do in many, and I believe most states, where all the championship games are played in one venue. In this case, it would be Albuquerque, which is the media hub, the population hub in our state at University Stadium, and maybe a Friday and a Saturday, and you play the 7 high school state championship games, and you can go see all of them, and the coverage would be there. And I understand this is not cut and dry, and we listen to reasons why it could happen and why it couldn't happen. And a guy who knows so much about this grew up in the state. He is in charge of the facilities over at the University of New Mexico. Ed Manzanares is the senior associate athletic director, was also the athletic director at New Mexico Highlands University, was a women's basketball coach up there as well. And just you're so in tune with high school sports as well as collegiate sports in the state. And I appreciate you wanting to come on and talk about this. How you living, man? Things good?
Jeff, JJ, everything's great, man. How are you guys?
Excellent. And thank you for reaching out on this. Your view is this could happen, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. Could happen, should happen, and certainly can.
I think all three. And from a UNM perspective, with something that Sally and I have worked the last 3 or 4 years when I took over facilities, and it's important to me as a native New Mexican, and obviously hosting as many events as we can at UNM. We just hosted volleyball, we hosted football, we hosted soccer, and the smile on the kids' faces were evident everywhere. I mean, they were thrilled to walk down the pit in volleyball and football kids. I mean, we want to do a better deal for them. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to use locker rooms and that kind of stuff, but for the event itself, they were great. And we did have Eunice, and I did not get anything from the Tasty Freeze in Eunice. I was disappointed, but they did come and play, and it was fun.
Yeah, is it Tasty Freeze or is it Dairy Freeze out there?
I don't know. I know Tom had a Dairy Queen, so I'm still trying to deal with that.
How was the reaction? These weren't state championship games this year. They were kind of like bowl games, but they were games that were played in the stadium. Everything I heard and saw, the student athletes loved it. You were down there. You were running these games. What was the reaction from the student athletes?
I mean, the reaction was really positive. And the soccer, we had to play the boys' championships at Robertson Field for soccer, and that was positive. And I think, again, I'll speak to, obviously I spoke to UNM, but I'll speak to something else, Jeff. I mean, I grew up in Chama, New Mexico, and that's, New Mexico's rural, man. It's all these rural towns in New Mexico. The state basketball tournament, people forget. It's an event just like the Balloon Fiesta is, the state fair is. My dad's gone to the state tournament since 1970. He's had the same seat since Lord knows, 80. And if anybody moves him, he's going to be pissed. And, this is schools back in the day used to put their spring breaks around the state tournament because in rural New Mexico, we don't get to go vacation. Vacation for us was in Chama was coming to Albuquerque, and we stayed at the hotel there on Carlisle and Central. Man, that was Disneyland for a guy from Chama. And when we played basketball and got to come to the state tournament, we got to stay at the Classic at the Sheraton on Manal and Louisiana. I mean, that was big, man. That was an experience for us. We got to eat at restaurants. We got to do this, and that's a part that people miss. I mean, the home field advantage is important. That whole thing. I mean, back to play a state championship game at our field, Escalante was going to play on a concrete slab that was full of snow, and that wasn't much fun. And if someone would have said, hey, you can get to play in Albuquerque at Manal, for God's sake, we would have been like, hey, load us up and get us over there. I mean, so it's the experience of being in a hotel that kids from rural New Mexico don't get to do a whole lot, eating at restaurants, staying at the Marriott Pyramid in Albuquerque would be like an NBA guy does. And that experience for kids, and like you said over and over again, is this for the adults or for the kids? Well, if it's for the kids, and you're from, like I said, anywhere from Tatum or Melrose or Magdalena or Escalante or wherever, man, coming to Albuquerque is a big thing, and it has very little to do with the venue, although the pit's important and University Stadium is important, but it has to do with staying in the hotel with your buddies and the pep rally and the caravan to Albuquerque, and there's just more to it that, to me, would be great for kids. Now, I get the economics and all this other stuff. I can talk to that, but again, the experience of me as a 16-year-old kid from Escalante coming to the state tournament and playing 3 games here was something I'll never forget.
No, and Ed, too, when you look at the facility and the fact that UNM University Stadium is a turf field, how does that just kind of play into it, too, knowing you don't necessarily have to worry about a bunch of games tearing it up? It's going to be the same surface for everyone participating in their championship games.
You know, JJ, now that Dan is here, he shares my same sentiment. I mean, it's all scheduling. I mean, if we had a game on Saturday for football, say it's that same weekend, if it's Thanksgiving weekend or whatever, we just schedule around it. I mean, we'll start championships on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you're exactly right. That field doesn't get worn out. We're about to put a new one on there. Probably in June, we'll have a new artificial surface on that thing, and it's going to be phenomenal for kids. And so, you know, it's all about scheduling. We've talked to Sally a bunch. We really juggled scheduling when it came to the soccer championships, and we had our 2 home games at UNM, and we were able to get that done. You know, Sally and I we weren't thinking too far ahead. We should have thought of playing the boys in the football stadium, and we could have played that on the turf. So, JJ, the thing's open to the NMA and to high school kids all around the state, and we want them here, and it'd be very easy to put it all together.
Ed Manzanares is the Senior Associate Athletic Director at UNM, former Athletic Director up at New Mexico Highlands, and a Chama, New Mexico native. He's with us on the opening drive.
Well, Ed, and you talk about that small town feel, quote unquote, you know, for where we are in Albuquerque looking at everyone else. And yes, the tradition that basketball has become, and we're talking about trying to make that for football, but I got to believe that the coaches feel a little bit different when it comes to football. So what are some of the things you've heard just from the football side of it?
Well, you know, it goes 2 things. You always hear about the home field advantage, and you always hear about the economic impact to some of these towns, and I get both. But, you know, again, I'll go back to my experience at Escalante High School. That school opened in 1966, and they've hosted one state championship in the history, and it was probably a great day. But the team that they played, and I think it was Hagerman, I can't remember who they played, 4-7, I don't know who it was, but they stayed in Espanola, and they drove up the 80 miles, I think, in the morning of the game. They played and they left, so I don't know if anything was actually spent in Tierra Maria that day. And so, but again, I'm sure it was a great event. And but again, one state championship up there, man, if we could have played a few here, and they've been to state championships. You know, they played at Fort Sumner and they've played at different places. But I think that, man, the chance to come to a centralized location for that community would have been awesome, because it would have been closer to drive, and they would have spent the night, and it would have been an event. And I think just like what the basketball tournament has evolved into, which is a great event. I mean, we're probably passing, 15,000 people in that building every day for the basketball tournament, whether they start at 8 o'clock in the morning and the last game's at 8. I mean, there's 15 to 18, 19,000 people walking through the building every day from Tuesday to Saturday. And if that was, we knew that, hey, Thanksgiving weekend or the first weekend in December is going to be football championships in New Mexico. It's going to be in Albuquerque or even Las Cruces. People can put their calendars around it and say, okay, I'm going to be in Albuquerque first week in December because I'm going to watch 6 state championship games on Friday and Saturday. And, I just think that that's kind of the event of this whole thing. I mean, the gathering of people to this city and to the event, and these kids can put on their calendar and get used to it. That's what's happening in basketball. It's more than a tournament. It's a state gathering, just like anything else, like Balloon Fiesta or State Fair.
I got two things for you that came up, and I'll address the cons to it first. It was weather, and it's not the pit, and I'm with you. I will argue that while the pit is a great venue, it is not the sole reason. I don't even know that I think it's the reason that the basketball championship is so successful. So address weather, scheduling, and then the multi-sport athlete going to play basketball, wrestling, that those coaches are going to be upset, especially in a small school like Escalante.
Well, I'll paraphrase what JJ said yesterday. When do we get soft? I mean, football's supposed to be in the snow. I mean, it snowed in Chama in the end of September, early October, and we had to deal with that dang snow till November, till we were done. So I don't know when football got soft. I mean, we used to be able to play in the snow, and used to be able to play in the cold. And Jeff, you've had your bowl game, and I bet you out of 10 other years that the sun is out and it's beautiful. It's 40 degrees, and the weather can be better in December. So I think weather is a horrible argument for. What was the second part? I forgot. I'm not very smart. What was the second part?
It was. I don't think the pit is the only reason.
The facility. you know, Jeff, I mean, again, yeah, it's not Jerry World, but it is the biggest facility we have in the state. And you know, the pit is iconic, and the pit's the biggest facility we have in the state. And, I mean, University Stadium is a great stadium, but it's the biggest stadium we have. That's what we have. So let's celebrate it and play in it. And sure, it's not, you know, these kids, you know, didn't maybe grow up to learn how to want to play there like we did in basketball. You know, we always wanted to play in the pit for several reasons, but, you know, the University Stadium is very adequate, and it's big, and it's still a big-time atmosphere. And you know, again, I'll go back to Escalante. I mean, would I rather play at University Stadium or in our stadium? They didn't have bleachers at the time, and cars parked around, and, you know, the tailgates were great in Santa Maria on the side of the field. Man, they were awesome. You could drink and do whatever you wanted in those days, but it still would have been better to play here on that turf.
What could it mean? I mean, I said yesterday, I believe that it stunts the growth of football in our state. I think the traditions aren't made overnight, but what this could become, I think it could be so positive for football in our state. I'm just curious what you think the potential could be.
You know, my opinion is I think the same thing. I think you're showcasing. I think one caller even said yesterday, which exactly, I mean, we've turned to this AAU world where, you know, there's, 90 games in a weekend, and these college coaches are going to go watch it because it saves money. I mean, if you're a Division II coach at Highlands or Eastern, I mean, you're going to these events because you can watch multiple kids over 2 days instead of having to drive all over the state to watch them. And if that happened for the state championship for football, you know, there's going to be all the junior colleges and all the Division II schools and everything else coming to watch 6 games on very, very little money budget-wise, which everybody's hurting budget-wise. And then it might give a chance for a kid from Fort Sumner to score 4 touchdowns, and a guy at Western New Mexico say, hey, man, he's pretty good. I better go recruit him. And it just gives a chance for people to come where now you got, 6 state championships all over the place, and they're great. I mean, I know the tradition in Artesia. I mean, I know the tradition in Las Cruces. I get it in Clovis. It's phenomenal. They have great venues. But again, it gives the kid a chance to play in front of coaches that, you know, they plan like, hey, man, I can go watch 6 games in a weekend. It gives them exposure. And I think it would build football. I think, you know, with that chance, there's some dreams for young kids in small towns. Say, hey, man, if we're really good, I'm going to get to play at University Stadium, and I might get to be seen by a college recruiter or whatever. It's a big deal.
No, Ed, obviously this doesn't sound like it's something that is new to you, but especially with Danny coming in and just kind of the buzz that it's created for high school football, it feels like there's a renewed connection between collegiate athletics and high school football. How has that just helped kind of continue to push this forward?
You know, for me, JJ, and I think for Danny, and I mean, not only him, we have also a bunch of other coaches at UNM, Heather and Paula and you know, Jill Trujillo. They're New Mexicans, and I think our passion is helping New Mexico kids, and Ray Birmingham, how could I forget him? And our passion is helping New Mexico kids, and for me, for sure, it's always been that way. We hosted the All-Star game at Highlands when we did it, and I did it because it was great for New Mexico kids in those small schools. And, you know, for us, it's just about trying to get these kids exposure and trying to get them to understand that, hey, man, you can play, or, you can do this or that, or you can follow a career in college athletics and stuff. It's something that none of us probably were taught to as elementary kids. I mean, we just happened to be lucky and fortunate enough to experience this and get into college athletics. And, you know, I was a college athlete, but, you know, I was lucky enough to get into the college scene, and all those people got to play. And it's for us, it's a passion to help our own kind, our own students, and whether they're from Gallup or, you know, like I said, Mescalero or Ridos or wherever, we want to help those kids, and we want to, we want the next Brian Urlacher to come through here. I mean, to us, that's why we do it. Of course, we like I said, we love University of New Mexico. We love to do what we're doing, but it goes further than that. We got to help our kids, and, you know, growing up in a small town, I know how it is, and if I can give a kid a chance to dream or hope to be at UNM or play at UNM or follow college athletics, we want to do that all the time. That's kind of our passion, and keep doing it.
Yeah, the perspective's great. Yesterday it was Eunice. Today I think this is the most love Tierra Amaria's ever gotten on our show. Ever.
It's a great place to live. I mean, it's a great place. I won't change my background being from Chalma, but we had a competition. Eunice got all the time yesterday. We got to go with Chalma, and I even gave, you know, Fort Sumner, Magdalena a little love
that's
too.
Right.
So,
that's
I've
right.
been to all those towns. I've been, I've seen basketball in all those towns, and I know how passionate it is.
it's great perspective, and appreciate you spending some time with us. Keep doing what you do over there, and maybe sometime soon this will become reality. We'll see. At least on a trial basis to see if it works. Ed Monsonatos, the Senior Associate Athletic Director at UNO.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you again.
All right, Ed, be well. It's a good conversation. Tierra Maria. It's a good, beautiful spot up there. Beautiful spot. More love than they've ever gotten. It's the opening drive, at least on our show, on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Trouble hiring? Time to shift
I moved
gears.
email to 841.
Beyond the resume.
Small or difficult, we handle them all at Valley Friends Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great price.
Have their spring breaks that week. Then in these small towns, folks plan their vacations to attend even if their school isn't involved. Nobody's planning a trip in November, early December when they're saving their precious vacation days for Christmas in 3 weeks. Okay. Look, that might be true. I'm not going to argue with you. And maybe it doesn't work. Okay? Maybe it does.
Y'all acting like we're telling 85 football teams to travel for a state championship game. It's 2 teams, 2A through 6A. Then you have your 6-man and 8-man if you want to throw them out there. Maybe give them some run, maybe even on the practice field. Who the heck knows? And by the way, did you know that not all the state championships are played on the same day, which I just discovered? The 2A was actually played 7 days before.
A week back. Yeah, a week back.
The other ones. I don't know what some of y'all are thinking. We're not talking about the entire high school football season being moved to this date. It would be a set date. You know the days. You plan your calendar. And if you get that far, guess what? You get a week or two to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why it would be that difficult. If your kid's playing, you're gonna go. It's a time of year where things are hectic, but you could probably get a day off. If it's a Friday, if it's a Saturday, I just and again, I asked the question: are we doing it for the fans? Are we doing it for the kids? We just heard from Ed talking about coming from a small town perspective, who played in the state championship. Would you rather play on your field? And maybe the answer is you'd rather play on your field in Santa Rosa or Hagerman or Tiamataya or Eunice or Lordsburg or Jal or wherever, and that's cool. I'm not going to tell you what you should like. What we've heard is the majority would like that experience. I don't know that there's a big difference between the state basketball tournament. I mean, spring breaks around when does winter break start? I guess it doesn't start by then, does it?
No. But I think you're talking about trying to create something.
That's right.
And it's not going to be perfect, but we're talking championship games that if you set a date, you let it be known that this Friday and Saturday, X amount of games are being played. Even if it might touch into basketball season for a week, you can get it to where you give teams from around the state enough time to plan that if they make it to a championship game, this is their destination. You drive in on a Friday, watch a game on a Saturday, drive home on Sunday.
So I guess, unless I'll ask you this, and you're right in some respects, but this works so well in so many places. Why not start it? Like, why not try it and see what it does here? Why not say, let's do this for 4 or 5 years? And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to this. But why not give it an opportunity to say, man, this works so well in the majority of states. Look what it does in Washington and in Texas. And we're not those places. You're right. But there's something that works so well there. Like, other people are trying to replicate what we do for the state basketball tournament, and they have in some regards. Why wouldn't you want to say, gosh, what do they have? Would this elevate football in our state? I don't even know how you can argue that it wouldn't. It doesn't decrease the importance or the excitement of football in Roswell to play the state championship in the biggest population base in the city. It doesn't decrease the importance of football in Clovis to not play the state championship game in Clovis or in Milne Stadium, to play it in University Stadium, and to play it in one big centralized celebration of high school football. And if we're wrong, and you try it for 4 years, 5 years, and it doesn't work, all right, go back. You can come up with all these reasons, and they're all valid, right? I'm not poo-pooing the weather, the scheduling, the inconvenience. Everything's inconvenient, man. Everything. I can't tell you, and I'm not telling you the New Mexico Bowl is the biggest thing in the world, but I am telling you that I heard all of these reasons why it will not work. And I can also tell you we're planning on year 16 coming up, and I was the only one stupid enough to think that we'd be here 16 years. Right, JJ, when we started this, you were with me. Everybody told me this wouldn't work. And they gave me all of these same reasons, the weather, why it won't work. Okay. But it works, and it's good for our state. I'm sure Peter Trevisani and that group heard why minor league soccer wouldn't work. I'm sorry, USL soccer wouldn't work. Right, all the teams and why the Chili's and the Slam and the Geckos and everybody else didn't work. Okay, At some point, for the betterment of what the product and in this case, I think the student athletes, do you take a chance? Do you say you're right? There are these issues, these hurdles, which we have to overcome. Weather, scheduling, okay. Is it worth it? And I get it. If some of you say it's not worth it, okay, I'm down. But I just don't. The one piece of the argument I'm struggling with, JJ, is how it would not benefit the overall good of the sport in our state to centralize and just celebrate high school football and make this a huge deal.
I'm on board with you. A lot of the stuff I'm hearing is how it doesn't work for someone personally as opposed to the game itself and what would it mean for high school football, because I do believe that there is another level that high school football can get to, because yes, you're interested if your kid's on the team or if your family member's on the team. It has buzz, but you can have crossover buzz. We've done it with basketball. It's taken time. You have an amazing venue, but then you could still build that into football and knowing, oh, championship weekend's coming up. Maybe I'll go out there Friday afternoon. Well, my Saturday is clear in the morning. I'll go watch a couple games. That's how you start something. You start building it. You lock into a date. People start planning for that. That's the goal. And the teams, the cities, the fans, the friends and families and fans will show up. And it's worth a try. And if it falls on its face, I can say, at least we gave it a try. It didn't work. And maybe football is just not the sport for New Mexico at the high school level. And we get to that point. But I think it's worth a shot, because this is one where it's not, I don't necessarily look into, well, everyone else is doing it, we should do it. No, because it works for everyone else. There's a buzz. There's an attention. There's a great atmosphere around these state title days. And it's not necessarily like we have as many classifications as these other states that we have to get in. We can do something where we showcase every championship game in what my new word, manageable time frame. And you can do that. Let's get it done. Let's try. And it's good to hear from the University of New Mexico, because that was always the biggest sticking point. Well, I don't know about the field and the facilities and the schedule. No, they're willing to try. They want to get this done. And you hear that, all right, let's see what happens.
Ryan just sent me a text from Texas, and he said, because to Les's point, people can't schedule and they can't all travel. Doesn't one team have to travel as it is anyway, right? Doesn't one team's already traveling, aren't they? If Del Norte plays Farmington, somebody's got to go up to Farmington, right? If Manal School's playing in Lawrenceburg, they got to go down there, right? I mean, so one team's already traveling, and his point's not wrong. So I hear all the reasons, all the hurdles. I guess I don't think they're reasons it can't happen. I hear them as obstacles, as things you have to work through. But I haven't heard one thing, and I don't even think that for me, all these things combined says don't do it. Give it a shot, man. The benefits, the upside is tremendous, and the bad side is, all right, it didn't work. Let's go back to what we're doing. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 670 Sports Animal and ProView Networks.
This is in a wide selection of apparel, from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to newmexicohighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Grady sent me a note. It said, great interview with a bomb. He says, notwithstanding, dude really articulated the pro argument very well. He was talking about Ed Manzanares, who was with us. He said, by the way, we hosted Escalante last week. Good squad. We played up there last year. Beautiful drive in country. Escalante, Tierra Maria. Shama getting a lot of love this morning on the OD. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Come on through at 505-246-0610. Your emails will get to us at jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, jj@sportsanimalabq.com. Who knows, JJ, I might even see you live in person one day soon. Might even see Bobcat or whoever the producer happens to be that day. Let me get you a few more. Garcia says, doesn't the producer players union, go ahead, you can hit the ice. You can make the noise. Ice maker in the background. Warning. Yeah. Doesn't the producer players union have a clause, Jeff, that for load management, Bobcat gets a day off after working so many straight? Bobcat, what's your union telling you on getting a day off and load management?
No union, and I've been doing 7 days for about 30 years. I've always worked almost 7 days a week all the time.
And you haven't blown out your knee yet?
No, I have not.
Torn a ligament in your right forefinger?
No, but it does get sore a little bit.
Yeah, I bet it does. All right.
We're good.
Maurice, go ahead. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Bob.
No, you didn't. No, we're all good, and I don't know why you guys keep saying that. I'm not planning on going anywhere.
I keep getting the emails. I mean, people are concerned about your health, Robert.
The Viper Pit is nervous.
Yes, they're really nervous. What would the Viper Pit be without you, honestly? Like if they had to throw Micah in there, how would it go?
Oh, not sure. The sports animal is a different animal.
That's right.
The across the hall there.
Certainly by design too. I mean, it's intended to be that way.
It is. Unfortunately, these days sometimes things cross over.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Maurice sent me a note. He says, "Can I make a hot take?" Sure, Maurice. Jeff, am I cynical if I believe after hearing Dr. D. Scrace speak yesterday that Governor Gavin Grisham, I think that's Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, is gonna lift outdoor capacity right in time? All the limits. Let me do this again. Am I cynical if I believe after hearing Dr. D. Scrace speak yesterday that the governor is going to lift outdoor capacity limits right before the Dividers May 15th home opener, so everyone has a chance to watch her beloved team? Sounds about right. Right? They're looking at, and we stayed yellow, but certainly the issue is with the vaccination rates going higher and higher, and some of the gating criteria, it becomes harder and harder to meet to get to green, to get to turquoise because of percentages. Less people are getting tested, but there's still positives, and so there's some of that. They're looking at changing the gating criteria. When I heard yesterday, JJ, that the intent is to get everybody to turquoise by June 1st, why don't you just put us there? Like if you're going to morph the rules so we can all get there, just let's go. Let's get to that point. Is that ridiculous?
Especially for outdoor events. And by the way, that benefits the isotopes too. So.
Yeah. Well, if it's May 15th,
they play in the
open
same
up May
stadium.
6th. Yeah, and if they open up May 6th. Yeah. No, Maurice, I don't think you're cynical. I think it's going to be right about then, and all the situations are going to converge right about then. Yeah, I think as you call them, dividers are going to have. Would you say half capacity, 3/4 capacity?
So it's 25% now, right?
It's 25% now. Like isotope tickets, and we're gonna get someone in here to talk about isotope tickets and what you're doing and how to get tickets right now, because you can't just. It's not like it's been in the past because of their 25% capacity, and the moving target for both isotopes and for United is been so it's so hard for them to manage, and I feel for them. But what do you think for the opener on May? What is it, the 15th for United? What do you think?
25%.
All right, I'll go there. I think it's going to be a little higher. Derek, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Derek.
Hey, good morning. It's been a few weeks. How are you guys doing?
Life's grooving. How's life in Vegas?
Beautiful. Other than, it's the good time of the year before the heat hits. So, But anyway, I haven't talked to you in a while, but I did catch a little bit of your tail end of your conversation yesterday about state championship weekend in football. And the kind of the pushback that maybe that's been happening out there. And I wanted to say this. as far as I know, unless the things have changed since the last time I coached or since I moved here, is there another sport in NMAA where a team gets a home field advantage also?
No, I asked that yesterday. Every other sport does a centralized championship.
Yeah, I participated in 2 state championships as a coach in 1999 when I was at Manal. We had to travel all the way down to Eunice to play, and in 2010 when I was at Manzano, Mayfield came up. So I don't get it. I don't get why the pushback. I mean, you hear about how great it is for the small communities to host it, but how often, other than maybe like an Artesia, how often do you get to really host it? First off, you have to get there, which is hard enough as it is, and then it has to be your turn. I mean, is it still alternating where you play where you played last time, that team last, then you just flip-flop it, or have they moved it to actually the higher seed gets the whole?
Yeah, no, I hate that rule. I think it's still that rule, and I hate the return rule.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's absolutely it's ridiculous. So, I mean, then how often does a whatever team get to host a state championship? Once every 10, 15 years, whatever?
Not often.
To give them, those kids that chance to play on a big stage. Not only that, but then a lot of the times, like I know the smaller schools usually play a week or two earlier, but on that one Saturday, you're going to have at least 3 games all on the same day, probably 6A, 5A, 4A. They're not going to get the coverage they deserve. You may have 3 games going on all at the same time all over the different part of the state, and there's no way that those games are even going to get the media coverage they deserve.
You're dead right.
This needs to happen. Here in Nevada, now they did not have a football season at all here last year. I know here, maybe it will change now. Maybe everything will be in Allegiant. But I know here they were alternating. Like even number years would be here in Vegas at Sam Boyd. Odd years would be up at University of Nevada, Reno. Maybe that changes now. Maybe they'll be at Allegiant. That wouldn't surprise me. I was born in Iowa. I know in Iowa they do it. They play at the University of Northern Iowa. They have a dome. And I don't know why they at least don't give it a shot. Say, we're going to give it a 2-3 years, because obviously the first year or two, there's going to probably be some hiccups. There's going to be some things to iron out, but I don't see why they at least don't give it a shot. And it would be kind of cool if you can get, an NMA director or someone on just to kind of speak on it and stuff. So,
all right, Derek. No, it's
anyway,
good.
You guys have a great day, great rest of your week, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon.
All right, see you, Derek. And it's good stuff from a guy who's coached here. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
With Indeed, you don't need
All right,
a
I'll do
storm
new
to
mail at
catch
9.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits 2 defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Mir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Stevens a rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that like my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Okay.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Turbo Threads is a proud.
All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Good conversation last couple days on this. Back to it. Mo, good morning, Mo. How you living?
Hey, good morning, Jeff. JJ, I'm doing great. I just wanted to thank you for broaching the subject. It's such a great conversation to have, and hopefully will happen. I mean, it makes perfect sense to play all the football championship games on the same day, or every other 2 weekends in a row at the same stadium, in the largest stadium in the largest town, Albuquerque. But just some thoughts. I mean, the NMAA, New Mexico Athletic Association, as you know, is a private entity, a private nonprofit entity that does a fantastic job. I mean, gives kids tremendous opportunities to play high school sports and tournaments. They contract with the public education department, essentially state government, to produce these tournaments and stuff. And the NMA board would have the authority to determine, where the championships are played. The board, I haven't looked at the board makeup in a while, but it's like, 3 out of every 4 members is outside of Bernalillo County. And even though you and I know Albuquerque is not a city, I mean, we have maybe 3 buildings taller than 10 stories. There's this, it's classic New Mexico politics, this so-called rural-urban divide, where the rural communities will outvote Albuquerque any chance it gets. So the only 2 towns that really have a beef are Artesia, in my opinion, Artesia and Las Cruces. Artesia's in the championship game, 2 out of every 5 years, or, sometimes 5 or 6 times a decade. But so the other rural board members will vote with the Artesia board member or with the Las Cruces board member, and it will never happen that way until we take just strong leadership to make it happen, because it's in the interest of everybody. Even the kids in Artesia would love to dream about playing someday in the championship game as they do in the pit, the kids from Hobbs.
I think, look, there's a lot to be said about tradition, and I understand the pit tradition. You're a New Mexico guy, Mo. I want you to respond to this email I just got. He said, as I mentioned yesterday, Jeff, like your guest, I played in a small New Mexico town back in the day. People wanted to make it to the pit for one reason. It was the venue of Jim Valvano and Phi Slamma Jamma. There wasn't the same interest in playing across the street. There were no memories of Joe Paterno running around Branch Field looking for someone to hug. The building was known for losing Lobo football, playing in front of sparse crowds. Do you think the only reason the state tournament is as successful as it is because of 1983, and that you couldn't have some sort of the same excitement in football?
I think you can have the exact same excitement in football, absolutely. And every 10-year-old kid would dream about playing in that huge stadium for the championship game. The New Mexico basketball tournament became famous in the 70s. I think the classic, iconic game was 1971. Hobbs lost to Albuquerque High in a thriller, and was the largest attended high school game in the country at that time. So we rival Indiana in terms of hoops because of the pit, not necessarily because of the NCAA game in '83, but even before that. But you're right. I mean, you can't compete with the iconic image of the pit back in the day. But to have the championship game not played in one venue, in the largest venue in the state, is different than any other state. And so I think as New Mexicans, we need to take strides to jump into the future, because folks are protecting their immediate interests. That once in every 2-decade time where their hometown hosted the championship game.
Music out and one.
I mean, come on, we all have to give a little bit so that the kids have a greater experience, and football becomes, a state sport. And so this
Agree
would be
with
a great
you, Mo.
way for it to do that.
No, and your voice that can really help. Appreciate the perspective, and thanks always for the call, Mo.
Awesome, guys. We'll see you soon.
And for context, JJ, when he was talking about the big game in the state tournament, that predates Jim Valvano by about a decade. So it wasn't all about Jim Valvano. You make traditions. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Clear, thank you.
Sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
What do you dissect? Trey Lance versus Justin Fields versus Mac Jones versus okay, and we're gonna do it for another week, and it's gonna heat up, and I'm looking forward to, I don't know, a week from Saturday when it's all done. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna heat up because you run out of things to break down, and you're like, well, there's got to be something wrong, or there's got to be something we're missing about this prospect. There's a lot of time to fill, and the teams are doing the exact same thing. They're going over and over and over, and sometimes you probably don't even trust your eyes or the report that you have. Like, God, what are we missing? There's got to be one more thing. Let's do one more search of the Instagram. Let's call his high school special teams coach one more time. You understand, especially when it comes to the quarterbacks, he would say franchise changing and job changing decision. If you get it right, you're going to be competitive. If you get it wrong, you're going to be fired in 2 years. That's just the way the NFL has evolved. I think, to me, there's not much movement. I got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields should be the second quarterback taking, but it's going to be Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones. And then after that,
and why are you so convinced on Fields over Wilson?
Well, I think Zach Wilson to me screams Jay Cutler, which is fantastic. He's got the arm. It's really hard to break down 2019 because they played one good game. It was close to Carolina, and they lost. But for me, Justin Fields checks all the boxes. Like, I'm not – and here's the thing that's different for Ohio State and then BYU. Like, BYU's schedule, they went out there and they dominated, right? They did what they had to do. Justin Fields wasn't necessarily – like, they had a lot of pauses at Ohio State. It was a rough season for them COVID-wise. So to sit there and say he struggled, of course he did. Like, that entire team at times struggled to find consistency, yet they were still really good thanks to Justin Fields. So when I'm looking at arm strength, pocket mobility, decisions, I think he has it all.
So when you tell me Jay Cutler, I guess that has a negative connotation. Jay Cutler was a good NFL quarterback. I think a lot of what limited Jay Cutler was somewhat, I don't know, was it attitude? Was it, I mean, like if you're going to tell me you give me Jay Cutler with a wannabe, or with a want to, I'm taking a chance on that. Jay Cutler was a pretty good NFL quarterback.
Jay Cutler, the want to, I think was just an outside narrative. Because he had a funky looking face at times, like Eli Manning face. Like, that doesn't mean he doesn't care. It doesn't mean it works hard.
Okay. You wouldn't
I
take
like
Jay
Justin
Cutler.
Fields better than Zach Wilson.
All right, that's fair. We're going to
He's my
continue that
number 2
conversation.
quarterback in this draft.
All right, well, we're going to continue that, but we're going to hit this because Jill's got to get on a plane and come home. And what do you do? Like, Jill Trujillo is the women's golf coach at UNM, and she's a champion again. Her team are champions again. Lady Lowell women's golf team won their another Mountain West Conference championship. Their 9th yesterday. Congratulations, Jill. How you living?
Another? Is it another?
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Man, it's still, I'm so tired today.
What do you do with the trophy? Like, do you have to put it on a seat? Do you put it in the overhead? How do you get, does somebody have to hug it the whole way back? What do you do on the flight back with the trophy?
Well, these things are very heavy, and in the past, yes, we've just kind of carried it on and put it in a seat next to us. But this time we had some of our non-traveling players. They actually came all the way out to Palm Springs to watch their teammates play. So they got to take it home, seat belted in their car all the way back to Albuquerque.
That's so cool. Jill Trujillo is the women's golf coach at UNM, on with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. What an exciting one yesterday. You're down 15 strokes. At what point, I don't know what's a lead that you think is not overcomable, if that's a word, but down 15 strokes, how'd you let your ladies realize that you can still win this?
Well, actually, after the first round, we were down 16 shots. You know, we kind of I have other words that I use, but we kind of all over ourselves the first round, you know. all 5 of them have to come to play when it's time, and we just didn't do that first round. So, and then it got better the second round, 5 shots better. So we're 11 shots down going into the final round, and we just stuck to our game plan. We've been really working on just small things to make us a stroke better here and there, and one of them is first putt. We were being very inconsistent with our first putts, leaving them well short, leaving them well long, and causing so many 3 putts. So first putts, and then we knew the wind was going to pick up a little bit, and every time that happens, I tell every player that I've ever had, they will tell you when the wind blows what happens, and they'll tell you advanced lobos. So we knew that was going to happen, and then the shots just started kind of ticking away, and my head coach and I saw each other in between the 7th and 9th holes, and we're like, this is happening. We're catching up. And the night before, we just went over the whole locations, our game plan, and then I sent them the clip from the last part of Hoosiers. When they got to make that last shot, and they say, okay, we're going to change the plan and we're going to give it to you. They're going to think Jimmy's going to shoot, and they all get all upset. And then Jimmy says, I'll make it, right? And I sent it to them, and I said, are you a Jimmy, or are you the teammate who's like, I don't want it, let's give it to that guy? And all of them said they wanted to be Jimmy. So they all had one kind of defining moment in their round that made something click with them, and it was just so cool to watch young ladies that have worked so hard, it finally happening for them. So so proud of them. Brittany, my assistant coach, it was so much fun,
Jill Trujillo is the head coach of the Mountain West Conference champion, the Lobo women's golf team. She's with us on the opening drive.
Jill, JJ Buck, we saw golf actually go up last year. A lot more people participating in the sport. It's something that you could do. So how was the last year with your team? Obviously not being on a campus, still a restriction. So how did you handle it? And they obviously responded well this weekend, but how did they get through this last year?
Well, it's I don't know if it's ironic or a word that you have for it, but I mean, obviously there was a pandemic, and there were so many hardships going on. So we really always made sure that they knew how fortunate we were to be there on campus, playing golf, practicing, and frankly, while people were suffering, we were being able to play golf. So I think just that attitude of gratitude made a huge difference.
Right.
And we got to spend so much time with them in the fall because there weren't any tournaments. So we got lots of one-on-one time with each player who came back to campus. We played golf all over New Mexico, and that was kind of an eye-opener for a lot of them to see how gorgeous our state is and how wonderful all our golf courses are. And the pros at every course we went to were so gracious and so supportive of us. So yeah, I think that had a big deal to do with how close we are and how much they wanted to fight for each other. And so it was there was a lot of down things that happened, but once we were given the go ahead to start practice and we were able to play in January, I mean, we were ready. We were ready.
Yeah.
We hit it. It was
Jill, I know you need to get on a plane, and I want to let you go, and I want to be respectful of your time. Just real quick, for your bunch of Jimmies that you got on that team, to be the 4th championship for women's sports on that campus, to go along with cross country and soccer and basketball. What does this championship mean for this program? I don't know if there was pressure on you to win and keep up with the rest of the women's programs over there, but what does this mean for your program?
Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, four of our women's teams having the championship. So, we actually put the pressure on our guys. You know, we got Glenn and his championship coming up, and Ben Dunbar in tennis, and we're like, hey man, come on, you guys got to get it going. I think our coaching staff for all of our teams are just, I think we're all pretty tight, and you know, it helps when you have a Danny Gonzalez who's the biggest cheerleader of all, and then our newbie, our new incoming basketball coach, Richard Patino. You know, he sent me a text, and you got Eddie fighting for you. You got Dave and Janice and Ed, and you know, I think we have a really wonderful administration who I don't know if it's pressure that I felt, but I wanted it so bad for this team because I knew how much they wanted it. And it's not any different with any team I've ever had, but this team in particular, they were so close and just we're fighting so hard. Like, they left it. We always tell them the best thing we know about you guys is you leave it all out there. You know, they fight for every shot they have out there. There's never any quit. There's never any give up. Nothing like that. So. You know, when I pointed them all, are you going to be the Jimmy? Yeah, I want to be the Jimmy. You know, that was so
cool.
fun.
That's so cool. A bunch of Jimmys headed back as champions. Jill, get on the plane. Safe travels. I appreciate you doing this last minute. We got the NCAAs coming up, and we'll talk before that and get ready for that and have a little bit more extensive conversation. But I'm so happy for you. I've known you for a lot of years, and I know how much you put into this, and another championship, and I know this one's sweet. Congratulations, Jill.
Thank you so much. Yeah, lots of years. I'm pretty positive I was in my 20s when we first met, so.
So was I. So was I. Safe travels, Jill. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. All right,
See
Jeff.
you.
Thanks.
Jill Trujillo. And I appreciate her doing that last minute. How happy does that coach sound? Right? I mean, is that just.
Well,
just
yeah,
people?
especially after day one, you're like, well.
Yeah.
16 shots back now.
Well, I want to talk to her more, and Glenn Milliken will be on with us. I want to talk to her as we get close to the NCAA tournament, because what you said is really, really, really key. Golf in this COVID era, but the witchcraft of the game. All right, you can have such a horrible round one and find a bunch of Jimmies that want to come back and beat San Diego State, just like your soccer team beat San Diego State, just right, and win a championship. I think it's a big deal for them. So thanks to Jill for doing that. 505-246-0610. We'll continue the quarterback conversation as well, but want you to be part as we head down the home stretch today.
A big deal is your fitness, and it's time to take control of your fitness. And what if I told you can find all you need: strength training, cardio training, full body functional fitness in one place, and it will only cost you 45 minutes. F45 Training is that gym that brings it all together with high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can take a look at the week's schedule of classes, what classes they have available, because each class is different in terms of tempo, the exercise you're doing, the amount of exercises, the different stations. It's a new challenge. It's going to keep your mind and body moving forward daily. As I keep saying, I took a red shirt year last year. I really needed this. It's helped me refocus on my fitness and then the benefits of feeling better and how that affects your everyday lives, because we're busy, we got a lot going on. But one thing you can control is your fitness. So it's time to create your own gym identity, and F45 can help you do that. Certified trainers there to help motivate, modify if needed. The atmosphere is awesome, and the focus when you're in the gym is going to be on getting the best you can out of that specific workout. They're located at 5920 Holly Northeast, so good access from wherever you're coming from in town. So don't wait any longer. Create your own gym identity at F45. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
You can say a lot about yourself with
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
The rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
For your business or your home.
The trophy sitting on the plane and all that stuff after winning that. This time it's getting a escort back via the interstate. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Back to the phones at 505-246-0610. Hello, Rudolph. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm going to go play me some golf tomorrow afternoon at Arroyo. So
It's going to be windy tomorrow. Me too. I'm playing tomorrow. But, yeah, it's going to be windy tomorrow.
It's supposed to be windy?
Manage Lobos. Isn't that what she said?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do the Lobos play tomorrow?
No, but when the wind kicks up, advantage Lobos. That's what she just told me.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, Jill, I've known her since before she even got the job. And she's one of those, you call them gym rats in basketball. I don't know what you call them in golf. But every time I was at the South, she was there, And people like that who have that interest in a sport like that and learn the sport are excellent teachers, and she's obviously doing a really good job. Watch them take a dip in the pond there. So that's what you do when you're a champion. But so happens that my CPA was out there after his tax season, and he went and followed him around. To make up 16 strokes, you know how tough that is, Jeff, because you really got to play better, and the other team has to give some back, and I guess San Diego State did. They gave 19 back that last day, huh?
Yeah, the Lobos won, and it was the lowest score, I think I was just reading, since 2008 to win the tournament. So, yeah.
Well, here we go. It's a great sporting year for UNM. Now let's go for one for the thumb. I think men's tennis or men's golf can get that one for the thumb and then start on the other hand.
Let's go get it. Yep.
I wanted to add one more thought about this state playoff thing for football. I don't understand why there was any opposition to this, because playing the games in one spot, think about this too. There's 1 million people in the trade area of Albuquerque. How many of those people might go and take in a game like I did when they were all in one spot, as opposed to me saying, well, if I want to see Artesia play, I got to drive to Artesia. If I want to see Eunice play, I got to drive to Eunice. Right. If I want to see Mora play, I got to drive to Mora.
Well, what about those people who would have to drive to Albuquerque? I mean, that would be kind of the thought of the process on it.
Yeah, thing about it is a lot of these people come to Albuquerque to do their shopping anyway, Jeff. You and I know this from the New Mexico Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that just come from, for instance, Farmington to go to the New Mexico Bowl to watch the football game to shop in Albuquerque.
Yep.
Let's face
Truth.
it, there's more shopping in Albuquerque than the rest of the state combined. So that's another reason. You know, if the wife doesn't want to go, you drop her off at the mall and you kiss her on the forehead and ask her not to run the credit card up too high, and you go to the football game. To me, it's a no-brainer. Why there's resistance to it at all, I have no idea. And every one of those kids, like I said, they want to play in a D1 stadium, and I don't think we should ever put down our facilities. There's nothing wrong with University Stadium. I've been around to every stadium in the Mountain West. It's not the worst, and it's not the best. It's right there in the middle. But it's a 38,000-seat stadium. Someday I'd like to see that full for a high school football game, too. You know? So that's my idea, and I think that's why football is like behind basketball in interest in the state, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think like I said, I think it's extended the growth of football. So, all right, man, hit him straight tomorrow or hit him in the wind.
You know,
that's
my vote.
Thanks.
I'll be out there as a spectator, too.
Well, I think I would, too. Thank you. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get in. Rudy's in on it, too. Look, I don't know I hear much opposition other than, I don't know. It'll be cold. It'll be inconvenient. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Real quick on you want to go back to the quarterback thing that we were having a conversation on before we have the golf conversation, JJ. So you're just sold that you think Fields is better. This is kind of your Deshaun Watson gut on this. Like you just your eye test tells you that Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson.
Yes, if I was picking at number 2, if I was the New York Jets, I would go with Justin Fields. I think it's Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, Lance, Jones. That's how I view it, taking it in, doing my outside looking in observation of college football and the prospects, the top 5 quarterbacks in this class.
Number 2, when you got one of these, see, to me, when you always have the 1-2 argument, number 2 hasn't been very good. It's Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, Drew Bledsoe, Rick Meyer, right? But to me, this isn't a 1-2. This is more of a 2-3 argument. Because number 1, there's no argument, right? I mean, there's no. This is the least talked about number 1 draft pick quarterback I've heard
in a long time,
forever.
Like,
right?
How about that pressure on Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
We know he's going number 1, but we're talking 0 about what he's going to do. Like,
nothing.
We know he's all right. He's good enough to be the number 1 prospect, but is that team going to be any good? Like, the pressure that's on Trevor Lawrence to live up to the hype of a dude that we're not even talking about anymore, because to your point, it's a 2-3 conversation, and we're just assuming that dude's going to pop.
Yeah, I don't know that we have found somebody who has been universally thought of as a can't miss, right? Or at least a no-brainer at 1 since Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Now was
Andrew
Luck RG3 year was the...
Yeah, and it was Andrew Luck was the guy, and here's the prototype, and he's everything. He's smart, and he's strong-armed, and he's athletic, and he can move, and he can read, and he could, and he was really good. Now, his career was cut short. I still, by the way, every offseason, there's a part of me that expects somebody to sign Andrew Luck. Like, there's a part of me every offseason that says, you know what, he's had 2 years off, 3 years off, whatever the number is, and he's healthy, and he's still relatively young. And the Niners are signing Andrew Luck, and he's going home, and he's going to be their guy. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it probably won't happen. But the Trevor Lawrence thing is like this, except for there's no chatter on Trevor Lawrence. None. And it's crazy to your point, because what's going on there, you've got a new coach who's not coached the NFL. And I think, you and I differ on this. I believe that Urban Meyer will be successful. I don't know what success means in the first year, but I think he's going to get that thing turned around into a playoff team within 2 to 3 seasons. I do believe that. I just think that division, they can win in that division. I look around and I'm like, all right, nobody just makes me go wow there, right? Indianapolis doesn't. Houston doesn't. I mean, who in that division scares you that they can't find a way to be competitive there?
Just the fact that the Jaguars,
Tennessee's good.
they're not good.
Yeah.
And so you're asking Trevor Lawrence to come into a team that isn't good, and it's going to have a lot of young pieces trying to get good. So it's going to be 2 or 3 years. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to struggle this year. But it's not because he's not good. It's just that overall team has a lot of work to do, and it's still Tennessee and Indianapolis that they got to run down.
I think Tennessee's nice. So does he struggle Joe Burrow type struggle, or does he struggle?
I think that's a fair. Like he'll have his moments where like, all right, this dude's good, but just the rest of them aren't there yet. And that's what you kind of expect to see with the number 1 overall pick going to that type of team.
The reality of number 1 picks are the teams are picking number 1 because they're not very good, and it's usually, and in this case is illustrative of that. It is usually because it's not just they're not good at quarterback, the team is not very good, and they're usually in a rebuild. So look, I agree with you when I say I think they're going to have success there. It doesn't mean they're going to the playoffs this year. I think 2 to 3 years, and I think that's an acceptable number, and I think their fan base and their ownership and everybody involved with that build accepts that, don't you think? I mean, I don't think anybody, except for maybe Urban Meyer, thinks they're going to playoffs this year.
And this is rough because I don't feel it with Urban. Like, this ain't the college game.
I know you
man.
don't.
Like, you're not – you have to throw money at people to get them to come to your team. You can't just say, hey, you're going to play for a national championship. Sign here. Even with Trevor Lawrence being good, and I think that's going to be the hardest thing, because if Trevor Lawrence is as good as we think he is, guess what? Urban Meyer's going to be successful. No, there's no doubt about it. Is if he is the next level quarterback like Andrew Luck, he's going to find a way to make that team win, and then ultimately Urban Meyer will be successful, I guess.
Well, I mean, good coaches are successful with good players. Yeah. You know what? Big reason Bill Belichick was successful? He had Tom Brady. Bill Walsh was really successful because he had Joe Montana. Yeah. And so this is the beginning of that.
If you think Trevor Lawrence is that good, then you have to assume that Urban Meyer is going to find a way to get it done.
Yeah, look, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I'm not sold he's going to be great. I'm not sold he's going to be even Andrew Luck
right?
good. Yeah, but I'm not. To me, Andrew Luck was more convincing to me than Trevor Lawrence.
How?
What do you mean how? But like back then when I looked at Andrew Luck and thought he could do everything, and I think Trevor Lawrence is really good. Just a gut. It's kind of like you on Justin Fields over Zach Wilson. But again, I've been wrong on this before. I'll go back. I believed in
Zach
Matt
Wilson
Leinart.
could end up being like the best quarterback in this draft.
I believed in Matt Leinart a lot, and he wasn't a good NFL quarterback. I think Trevor Lawrence will be good and have a good career. All right, who do you think is going to be better overall, long term, Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence? I mean, because if you look at draft hype and consensus, everybody will tell you Trevor Lawrence
is a better player.
Okay.
So I would lean towards Trevor Lawrence, and you know what? Because the Jaguars have actually found a way to be pretty good at times. Like, they made it to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles. Now it's an entirely new staff and front office people, so kind of changes the way you think about that. But yeah, I think it's Trevor Lawrence, because I think that division opens up sooner than the AFC North.
All right. 505-246-0610. The draft is now 1 week away. Finally! You can get in on that. Who's your favorite quarterback coming out of this draft? Trevor Lawrence, and then it's the opening drive on ProView Networks with Alden. At 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal with Robert Cat.
The NFL offseason. Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Cheese is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-tech power protection manufacturers.
And who do you like? Got a bunch of emails too. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Let me get you these emails because, well, you sent them to us. Jeffrey, it says Micah John facing the Viper Pit. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Bobcat. I think the Viper Pit would eat the OD's former producer alive. You'll find his carcass behind day and night plumbing next to an empty box of Chalice of Hope and Freedom. I don't know, man. Micah's a tough guy. Is Micah as soft as they're making him out to be?
No, they're judging by the book cover, not what's inside.
Just because he looks like Trevor Lawrence. I get it. This is from James. Apples and oranges. As I mentioned yesterday, Jeff, in the early 70s, University Arena was new and fresh. And sure, people wanted to play there. It's a 60-year-old built now with no megavision and woefully out-of-date cramped bench seats. NCAA tournaments don't even want to play there anymore. If I was in high school in 2021, it wouldn't be any bigger deal playing there than Tingley or the Rio Rancho Event Center. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
What is that? I'm going to say that take does not carry over outside of you.
Well, the pit's a pretty big deal. Anybody who's come down the ramp, yeah.
Like it's still maybe it's not because of Jimmy V, Houston, North Carolina State for today's high school players, but it matters. It resonates. So we're not trying to take that away, but we're not saying just because Jimmy V wasn't running around at University Stadium doesn't mean you could have that same kind of impact. Kids wanting to play there and enjoy that atmosphere and have that to look forward to. Because there's a reason you play your way out of Bernalillo in the Star Center into the pit.
Yes. Look, coming down the ramp is special. Even just shooting a free throw in the empty pit. Like you've done it, I've done it. There's just something about it. Like just we've done shows at the pit when it's empty at 7:00 in the morning. And there's a cool feel to the pit. Now, is that counter to the argument that you can't that the University Stadium can't be special? I don't know if it is or not. I'm going to tell you that more than one thing can be true. I think the pit is special, but I think playing a football championship in a centralized special location could be cool. Now, Dave says the idea of centralizing the state football championship here at University Stadium seems like a good idea that makes sense to bring it in line with the rest of the championships hosted by NMAA. However, I think you underestimate the contempt of the southeast part of the state in Las Cruces area that they have for the metro area. The fact that we already host all of the other events that happen in the state, as well as the NMAA championship events. They feel that there is a huge northern bias when it comes to everything from sports to politics. And the last thing most of them want is another event to be taken away, in quotes, from them. They already feel that just having the basketball tournament at the Pit is huge and unfair advantage for the metro schools over places like Hobbs. They feel it's a road game, and they will not have that happen for football schools. Like I said yesterday, find a way to the board meeting to present the case, and you'll feel some of what I'm referring to. People in the Southeast go to Lubbock, and people in Cruces go to El Paso for shopping and things like that, not Albuquerque. They send their kids to Texas Tech or New Mexico State far more than they send them to UNM. Again, I'd like to see it happen, just not sure it ever will. That's Dave. Dave, I don't underestimate it. And I think that's the biggest reason it's not happening. And I agree with you. I no underestimation at all. I know that to be true. And the makeup of the board of the NMAA and you know, Eunice School District gets as much vote as Albuquerque Public Schools, and understood. What do you think about rotating it? 1 year here, 1 year there, or 2 years here, 1 year there?
Yes, I'd throw it on the table because I don't want to completely ignore the thoughts, you know, because I know that is the one sticking point where I'm on board with. It's not whether the wrestling coach if there's that. It's yeah, you can understand that there's some friction, and there absolutely is a divide when people are looking at, we got to go back to Albuquerque again.
Yep.
So what if you did it in Cruces 1 year? Because if you, the biggest thing is setting the dates and where. And so if that's on the calendar, you know where it is, when it is, you can plan, you can be ready to go.
Yeah, the one thing that you don't have in Cruces that you would have here, look, the stadiums are comparable as far as, you know, one seats 37, 38,000, the other one seats 30. I guess the weather might be a little bit better down there, theoretically, although I don't think it's drastic. The media hub of the state is here. It's in Albuquerque. You would get better coverage in Albuquerque. You just would. Now, the El Paso stations would cover it more there, and so would you get more? Everybody shares it video now. It's not like you have to send a tape on an airplane anymore by a satellite window. You send a file, click, and all of a sudden he's got your video in El Paso. So that's the technology. But David, your point's real. I'm not underestimating that at all. And so is the answer 2 here, 1 there? 2 in Albuquerque, 1 there, or go back and forth? And then I guess the argument, well, then it's not special, Jeff. It's not in one venue. Isn't it, though? I mean, on a college football stadium, video replay board, bigger feel, isn't it, though?
It all comes back to being able to highlight the championship of your sport and help grow the profile of high school football, because obviously it matters in certain areas. So how do you get that feel, you know, the feel of southeastern New Mexico, what was just described to us in that email, across the board? Because even if they don't like it, guess what? They have that feeling. They bring that energy when the teams show up to the state basketball tournament, whether they're playing in the sites leading up to the Pit or the Pit itself.
Yeah, and if you gave the South the representation, and I think that's fair. Like I'm not poo-pooing that at all. And you know, how do you monetize it? The revenue that would be generated, would it be better? Would it be more revenue generated in something like this? I gotta believe it would be. Can it be shared amongst the schools to make everything better? And would that be incentive enough for them to listen? I understand the animosity. Like I've been in this market for 25 years, and I've had enough conversations at the high school level. I get it. And what he said is not wrong. The South feels like everything is dominated by Albuquerque, and this is like Albuquerque is the population capital of the state. Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, right? But that to me, JT, that's the biggest hurdle. It's not scheduling. It's not dairy freeze or whatever it is. It's not. I think to me the biggest hurdle is that mindset, and I understand that. 505-246-0610. I got another legendary, or at least a email from a legend when we get back. Gentlemen, a few truths as you go through your work week. As you age, Things like fatigue, low T, hair loss are all natural. There's a really good chance it's going to happen to you. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The beauty is there's something you can do to battle those things. If you're regularly tired, maybe you're carrying a few extra pounds, you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, I suggest you call NuMale. NuMale leads the way in helping men deal with all of these issues, and they have for years. They've got testosterone replacement, which utilizes the latest cutting-edge technology, and men all over the country benefit from it, and they feel better. The number is 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. Or visit NuMale, NuMale.com. Fellas, NuMale's convenient. They're right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. It starts with your phone call, goes all the way through the treatment. NuMale guides you through the process. But the best part of this whole thing is the results are real. You'll feel better. 505-652-1688. Don't put it off. Take care of you. Visit NuMale. That's NuMale.com. Or call them at 505-652-1688 and feel better.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson.
All right, I'm going to read you a great email and then get to the phones. 505-246-0610. It all shakes out, he says. Bad argument points deflectors of the OD in the AM. I believe it was Lavander's email, who said people have lives, and that point perfectly encapsulates the weakness of the other side argument. So let's play that out. You're talking about 14 teams out of 89 total districts with a high probability that at least some of those teams will be metro area teams. So even if the parents can't make the trip, their kids, the players, the people who this is supposed to be about will still make the trip. I'm with JJ, spelled J-E-I-G-H. I've yet to hear anyone successfully address the issue and still have the kids at the center of the argument. Ed Manzanares couldn't have been more right about how kids love to travel with their teammates and stay in a hotel, eat in restaurants, etc. 1,000 years ago when I played at Manzana, we used to love road trips. Even though we were in the metro area, some of my best memories and lifelong friends were made on those bus trips, in those restaurants, in those hotel rooms, and most of those were regular season games. Elevate the sport of football, showcase the New Mexico football players, provide life-changing experiences, centralize the state football championships. That's Grady in Santa Fe. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Let's go back to it. Tommy, good morning. How you living?
Pretty good, guys. Tom of the Truth back at you. I heard something earlier talking about the NFL and all the rules. I think it's turned into, we all know this, the no fun league. I mean, players are allowed to have a little bit of a good time. You want them to go out there and just be robots and just be like Barry Sanders back in the day when he scored a touchdown. He just gave it to the ref, which is what he wanted to do. That was his personal choice. But I just don't think they should have too many rules. The fun's already been kind of taken out. I mean, what are you going to – I mean, it just seems like the NFL, Gordell wants them just to be emotionalist type robots and just go out there and play and just go back to the huddle and then run a play. And I don't like that. And it'd be amazing if the NBA or if the NFL, NBA does a lot of high-fiving. The NBA said, we ain't going to let anybody high-five anymore. It's just, I think you can't take the fun out of it because it's an escape. Football and sports supposed to be an escape for us to go into that world and escape our, sometimes mundane world once in a while. Don't take all the fun out of it. I think there's just it's too much to it. The throat slashing thing, I understand. Things that are grabbing yourself, I understand things like that. But don't take all the fun. I miss the Fun Bunch. I miss the Washington Redskins, even though I hate them because they're on my division. But I love the Fun Bunch. They used to all jump up together and do the high five. Do you remember that? Washington.
I do. The Redskins. Yep. I do.
Don't take all the fun out of it. I mean, we want to escape. Let us escape. Let us allow ourselves to escape. Don't turn it into robots maybe in the 50 or 60 years, NFL players will be robots anyway. Who knows? But yeah, I just disagree with some of the things. I understand it, but don't take the fun out of it. Dang it.
That's right. No, that's right. It's a good call, and thank you. Tommy called at 505-246-0610. He says they're just trying to kill it, man. I don't know. Where's the fine line? Taunting and fun, and they got to find it. Terry, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Terry.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Excellent. Thank you. How you doing?
Excellent. Good. So on the, for the state championships games, I hope you guys can, do it. I remember when they dropped the All-Star game back in 2009 that used to get to play at UNM. Didn't draw much of a whimper, and then it took 7 new high schools in Albuquerque before they added a third stadium. But, if your guys are able to turn Charlie Brown's sapling little tree into a big oak and get this to work, it'd be a great thing. I think the biggest is you got the NMAA. Now, I think UNM's on board, but the NMAA and the coaches, are going to be the biggest holdup. And the saddest part is who will have the least input? It'll be the kids, the ones who are helped the most. On decision making, that's who would get the benefit out of it, the memories, from that standpoint. But on one little thing, not to burst your bubble on the demographics, I thought a ton of women would call in, because once Rudy was talking about dropping off the mom at the mall to go shopping, I'm going like, oh, if my wife was listening, she would just been no,
I know.
The mothers are right there to watch their kids play, so that one, I thought, Rudy, you're in left field on that one. But, I hope it works out. I hope they give it a chance. It's great for the kids. I remember for my son, even at a college level, when they got to play at Arrowhead Stadium, when you play at a level up, even knowing you're not going to reach that goal, it's a dream come true. And like I said, you guys are promoting it, and it's for the kids, so I hope they can do it. So keep up the good work, and you guys take care. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, man. So let me blow your mind a little more, since he brought up the All-Star game. And, I don't mean to muddy the waters a bit. A few years back, I kind of went to the Coaches Association and the NMA, and I proposed, how they played that All-Star game, the North-South All-Star game? Do you know when that's played?
Isn't it played in, June?
July? No. When the kids are out of shape, a lot of the seniors are certainly the ones who are done playing football. They're whether on their way to college or working or so I proposed doing the North-South football games on the Friday night before the New Mexico Bowl and kind of wrapping it into one big celebration of football. And, oh, no, we can't do that. That's tradition. And they're going to be playing basketball. And where the tradition is in July. And I'm like, what are we doing? It gets no coverage in July. The games don't. Players are not at their peak. I don't know. I just, what do you think of that? Playing it on the Friday night before the New Mexico Bowl and have all those people in town and get all those kids out to the bowl game and make it one big celebration of football.
I like that idea. I would hope one of them would work. Whether it's showcasing the All-Stars or the championship games, I think they'd probably be more receptive to championship games.
No, I agree.
But, maybe not. And I think, we've had a lot of back and forth, and ultimately I think we got one of the best points late today, and just really, it's bridging the gap between the areas of the state that feel a certain way about each other.
No, look, I don't doubt that, and I do believe that that's probably the biggest hurdle in the whole thing is going to be that, and that's why there's a big part of me that says it won't happen. And I guess that's okay. I think it would elevate the profile of the game. And no matter what game you're promoting, whether it's soccer, lacrosse, football, you're looking, I think you're looking for ways to better your game overall, right?
Yes.
Theoretically. And I get the people down south, say that's not bettering the game overall. Is it? And if the consolation is, let's split it between University Stadium and Aggie Memorial. I'm listening to that conversation. I think the key is to centralize it and make it a big celebration of high school football, to celebrate the state championships at a place, bring everybody together. I mean, don't you think the kids from, Eunice, after they win the 3A game or lose the 3A game, play the 3A game, don't you think they'd like to stick around and watch the 4A game and the 5A game? I'll bet they would.
It's like I said, that's some of the stuff I'd love to hear from a high school kid at this. Definitely the coach's reaction. The coaches feel a certain way based on what area of the state you're in. But you look at it overall, it's like you play your championship games usually in the biggest venue. And baseball, Farmington might have a claim to potentially doing that, right, at times. But it's
at Ricketts Park.
Yeah, but it's it's Isotopes Park. It's the Pit. It's the marquee venues in this state. Should showcase the most important game at the time of the season. And I'm sure if there ever were to be a day that they build a soccer-specific stadium, there'd be a push to have all soccer championship games there.
And I guarantee people would push for that. I mean, that's a community that really feels that feels like they're together in growing their sport. And so you've said it a lot of times, and I can't agree with you more. Who is this for? Who are we doing it for? Is it for the kids? All right, thanks to Jill Trujillo, the Lobo women's golf coach, for being with us today. Also to Ed Manzanares, the Senior Associate Athletic Director at UNM. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. The Sports Bar with Julio and Carlisle comes your way. More local talk at 4 o'clock, and then we're back with more award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Alden, Josh, good to see you guys, man. It's been a while. Great work on the... Is J-Pole there too?
Showing up late.
Oh, there's J-Pole. Yeah, I just kind of... Damn, J-Pole. Eating
all they
twisters.
do is eat over there.
That's all they do is
all
eat.
They do
Bobcat, great work. I imagine we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
JJ, enjoy the day. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow. Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You're watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Eagles a rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Zay, can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Okay.